What's up, YouTube? We post here. Today it's Victor bringing you guys another standard Wi-Fi battle, or not Wi-Fi, but Pokemon Showdown. I know some people, the new members, commented on the original battle. They're like, it's not competitive. Well, that's because it's not meant to be. It's for featuring original sets, hence the name. But I guess our channel description doesn't even mention that we have two different series going on, one for competitive, one for original. Anyways, this is a standard battle or original. And let me just tell you, this is one heck of a match. Probably one of the best ones I've had in a long time. And I'm not just saying this because the match is long. I mean, well, I wouldn't say it's too stally because in my opinion, wasn't. But you guys can take a look and judge for yourselves whether or not this match was stally or not and how it affected the length. But let me just tell you, I think it was really good. It's, again, I'm on the other side. I'm how do you say it, I'm using my standard YouTube team with the Dragonite, Flygon, Rotom-Wash, Vaporeon, Ferrothorn, Gengar, and my opponent is going to be from my opponent's perspective. He's going to be called YTChepe, CHEPE. And looking at his you guys know my team, so I'm not going to explain it, but looking at his team, main big thing is going to be the Magnezone. Really scared of that, mainly because Magnezones are basically Ferrothorn killers because they got the trapping ability and then HP Fire. So I'm not sure how much HP Fire will do in the rain, but still going to do a chunk, and my Ferrothorn can't do anything back to it. Keldeo is definitely going to be scary because the Secret Sword is super effective against Ferrothorn, and it also does pretty much a good chunk to anybody except for my Gengar, but then it has the Hydro Pump too. And aside from that, we'll see what other scary things I encounter through this battle. So let's get on with the match. So I predict I don't even know what I predict, but I go for a Flygon. That's why it's good to have a Flygon here, because U-turn, you don't even have to predict. You just bring in whatever. And then Vaporeon comes in because I bring in my Vaporeon mostly because Vaporeon's a solid counter to Politoed. Offensive, you can take hits. Defensive, I don't care about Toxic because I got the Hydration ability and I can Toxic him back. So I go for Toxic, predicting a switch or predicting him to stay in. Either way, it's win-win for me. He goes into Celebi. I'm scared because of Leaf Storm or whatever. And he goes for the Giga Drain, so I bring in my Ferrothorn here, and I'm just going to go for, let's see what I go for here, guys. I'm going to switch out, go into my Flygon, predicting the Magnezone to come in, but he just goes for a U-turn, so, you know, it's probably slightly more offensive, I'm not sure, but usually the offensive ones have U-turn. But he's going to go for a Hydro Pump, just not predicting anything, just going for full-on Blast, because Keldeo's a beast in the rain. Not sure if he's Scarfed or Specs, but the way he brought in the Keldeo against my Flygon makes me think that he's Scarfed, because all Flygons are basically Scarfed unless you're one of those people who uses a Life Orb one, in which case, no offense, but you are dumb. Actually, that is offensive. Sorry, guys. But he's going to go for a Thunder. I protect just to see what he is, because most Magnezones are choice specs. And I bring in my Flygon relatively safely, and I go for the free EQ. Even though I know he would switch, I go for it anyways just because it's free. Why not? And if it lands, it'll be really nice. But if I went for the U-turn, that would have been really nice, because this Celebi causes me a lot of trouble later in the match because of the fact that my Vaporeon just cannot deal with it. Sorry about slowing that down, guys. I know this battle is really long. Anyways, he brings in the Politoed against my Ferrothorn or whatnot, and as I think I make a double switch. Lots of switching going on here, guys, but pretty sure I make a double switch. My Vaporeon, and I'm going for a Scald. Does a really good amount of damage to the Magnezone. This is why Rain is just so OP. Go for a Protect just to see what he's going to do. He goes for the Flash Cannon, probably predicting my Flygon to come back in. And now I'm just going to go into my Ferrothorn relatively safely because he's either going to go for the Thunder or the Flash Cannon, whether he's choice or not. And now I can just Protect and let the burn finish him off. And that is one of the biggest, scariest things that he has on his team. It's gone, okay? Don't have to deal with it anymore. This is good. And I also get a 6-5 lead. This bonus, he goes for the Secret Sword right now, and that actually did way more than I expected. I expected to do like a 50%, but seeing how much Hydro Pump did, it's 60% seems about right. So I wasn't really thinking about that at the time. I go for a Wish here, just because I know Donphan can't really hurt me either, and the Wish is just, you know, it's going to be beneficial to me. Wish users always go for Wish first, then see what happens later. Anyways, go for Protect. He goes for Giga Drain this time, predicting me to stay in since he went for U-turn last 2 times. So I bring my Ferrothorn, and because he can't do anything to me, and Ferrothorn's a really good counter to the Celebi, and I'm just going for a Thunder Wave on the switch because I know he's going to switch because he is completely walled by me. I go for a Protect just to see what he wants to do because I have my Donphan carries superpower, though you guys have never seen me use a Donphan before. But when I do use Donphan, I have CB Donphan with superpower, so that's what I was afraid of. I was scouting for it. He didn't have it, which is good, which means Ferrothorn can deal with Donphan and Celebi A-OK. So Ferrothorn's going to be a huge part of my team here. Anyways, Keldeo comes back in. I'm scared of the Secret Sword, so I go into my Gengar this time. He's going for Hidden Power, predicting my Vaporeon to come in. And that actually does a good chunk to me, so I'm going to switch out. But I wasn't expecting him to... I was thinking that the Vaporeon... He wouldn't be wanting to counter my Vaporeon, but anyways... Goes brings in the Gyarados because he can't do anything to me with the Keldeo, seeing leads to 3%, and he sets up a substitute. And this is really bad for me because now... I can't do anything because I can only go for Skull, try to break it, but this is going to let him to get up to +2/+2. And now I'll tell you why this is bad, because Extreme Speed from a Dragonite only does about 50%. He has like 60%. And so my plan is here, bring in George, because I know that he's going to set up a substitute. Why would he not? Because I can only break it with 2 hits, and he's afraid of the burn. So why would he not set up substitute? So I bring him Rotomosh on the switch, go for the Volt switch, knowing full well that the substitute is coming, so I break it and bring in Ferrothorn because Ferrothorn is just going to counter it because he's got probably Bounce, Ice Fang, and Waterfall. Or just Bounce and Waterfall, I guess. There isn't shown Bounce yet, so, but you know. Anyways, he goes for a substitute as I go for the Power Whip because my plan right now is just to keep putting on the offensive pressure onto him. And he's just going for the substitute, probably hoping for a miss because substitute's 85% accuracy. Anyways, my plan is just go offensive with Ferrothorn. Yeah, go offensive with Ferrothorn. How hilarious. But go offensive with Ferrothorn, keep pressuring him, and make sure that he goes to a point where substitute does not work anymore because he's too little HP. And then I can proceed from there, set up a Leech Seed, and try to kick him out. But here, he's up in the air, right? I'm thinking, how did he get up to 57%? Like, how did he do that? He was only at 30 before. But I realized that his plan right now is to just try to stall me out. Try to stall out with the Bounce, because every turn he's getting 12%, and he's trying to get back to full HP with the Bounce, which is good for him, bad for me. I predict this Bounce to come in, right? And go for the Rotomosh, because even though it's +2, I still resist. I can go for a Volt Switch this time, but he gets the Paralysis, which really sucks, because now I'm forced to sack it because nothing on my team can take a Waterfall. And if that Paralysis didn't happen, I could have went for the Volt Switch, and it would have been good to go. But this Paralysis happening really screws me over, and we'll see how I deal with it from here. Anyways, we bring back in the Ferrothorn, because I'm just going to keep going with the plan from before, just keep going for the Power Whip. This Waterfall flinching me, it hurts, but annoying. It's annoying and it hurts, but it doesn't really matter too much in the long run. I go for Leech Seed, thought he would go for another Waterfall because that first one did pretty much a lot of damage. And he's at 76% again now, so you can see how well lefties and Bounce works together. Everyone Bounce OP on Gyarados with lefties. He goes for another Dragon Dance because why the heck not? And I'm just going to go for another Power Whip and just keep going with the offensive thing. But I missed the attack, which really sucks because now he's at +4. Or ×3, whatever. +4 stages. Max is +6. And this Waterfall does a lot of damage, 50%. And my Power Whip does a good chunk too, but it's not nearly enough. I try to go for Protect, and he predicts that like a flipping bus. Sorry, I used flipping Alan, but he predicts that like a bus, and now I can't do anything because I can't for Protect again because it's going to fail. Well, 50% chance of failing. And all I can do is just sack my Ferrothorn, and that really hurts because Ferrothorn was the main counter to his Celebi and his Donphan for me. But now I'm just free to bring in my, Dragonite, and go for the revenge kill with Extreme Speed. So, Gyarados, huge threat, out of the way. But at the cost of my Ferrothorn. And we'll see where this was a good sacrifice or not. Well, it's not really sacrifice because he kind of outplayed me, but but sacrifice nonetheless. Anyways, bring in my Vaporeon because now Vaporeon is going to assume the duties that Ferrothorn had. I said duties. I'm actually not sure why that's funny. Can someone explain that to me? But Vaporeon can take hits pretty well. He goes to Celebi, and my Ferrothorn is gone, and nothing really wants to take a Giga Drain. So what I'm going to do is protect, see what he wants to do. He's going to predict the switch. He goes for the U-turn. I'm like, okay, fine. We can go for the U-turn here. After turn effects going on, I predict that. I go into my Flygon because he can take a Giga Drain, he can take a U-turn, and now I can get switch initiative. However, because I thought that this guy was Scarfed, I switch out into my Gengar because fearing the Hydro Pump or whatnot. Because at this point I'm still thinking that he's Scarfed, which is why I did that. And I go into my Gengar, and here I'm afraid of the Hydro Pump or whatnot once again. And I go into my Vaporeon because I know he's not gonna go for the Secret Sword because my Gengar was there. So why would he? And now I can just go for the Wish and just proceed to wall this Keldeo forever until he switches out and brings it back in and goes for Secret Sword, which in that case, because right now the situation, guys, is Vaporeon walls Keldeo and it walls Donphan and walls Politoed, but his Keldeo can deal with my Vaporeon. However, he can't go for the Secret Sword for fearing that my Gengar will come in, and in which case this would give me a upper hand because I basically Gengar outspeeds everything on his team, and I can set up a sub and therefore go for a sweep. So that's the predicament here, right here, guys. I can't kill his Keldeo. He can't go for me, and after going for the Wish, I know Samuel can take anything that he wants to throw at me, and I can just get all my HP back from the Wish. So this is the thing. So that was the situation right here, guys, and that was me switching into Flygon. Anyways, see the Donphan. I'm going to go into my Vaporeon again just because I'm afraid of the Ice Shard, which is why I didn't U-turn. Though U-turn would have been nice to break the Sturdy. However, now I can just go for Scald. It can get some nice damage on whatever. And Earthquake does a good chunk to me. I'm not gonna lie. That actually does a lot, but you know, Vaporeon is not physically defensive, so it's not supposed to take it really well. Anyways, I go for the Wish, and you guys can hear my chair squeaking, and I'm going for Protect because Protect is obvious. I'm burping right now, sorry guys. And Protect is obvious, so which is why, you know, he goes for Giga Drain anyways. And now I know that he's either going to go for Giga Drain or a U-turn because that's all he's went for the last 2 turns. And I know somebody's going to get hurt real bad, but he doesn't get hurt real bad because he doesn't die. Well, like, what? Mind blown. Celebi, man, too much of a boss. Like, this Dragonite, Choice Band Dragonite has taken out so many Pokemon from 100%. He doesn't take out the Celebi. But anyway, it was absolute. I was just like mind blown right here. Vsauce 2, mind blown. Right there, but now I can just bring in my Flygon, U-turn, revenge kill, and I think that I pretty much got this in the bag because Vaporeon basically walls Donphan and Politoed. Now the Celebi is gone, I don't have to deal with that anymore, which is really nice. Though losing Dragonite was kind of sucky, but you know what can you do? The only problem I can still see is as I told you, the My Little Pony. But I can play around My Little Pony because Keldeo is choiced, and I can play around that because I have the Gengar, which is immune to his Stab Secret Sword. He predicts my switching and goes for the Hydro Pump, again predicting rather aggressively here. Also, he has nothing to lose because I can't really hurt him, but the Scald's still doing 25%, which is a lot. Anyways, he surprises me here by going for the rest, which, let me tell you, kind of a game changer, because up until now I thought that Vaporeon essentially walled him, but actually when you think about it now, it's rather much of a stall fest more than not. Am I even speaking proper English? Because I can't even hurt that thing anymore. Because my main plan of going to take that thing out was to go for Toxic, but now I can't. Anyways, I go to Morris here, and I go for Shadow Ball, and I outspeed. And I was thinking, say what? Because this whole time I was just thinking, Gengar is slower than Keldeo because the Keldeo is Choice Scarfed, which is the whole reason why I wasn't U-turning on it and everything. I was all scared about it with Flygon, but he's not Scarfed, he feels Specs. So all this time, I was scared for nothing, and I could just brought in Gengar in the beginning and just, I don't know, went for a flipping sweep or something. But I didn't, so I'm pretty sure he wasn't trying to bluff it, but he accidentally bluffed it accidentally turn 6. So this whole time, that was probably the reason why this match wasn't over a bit faster. Because I thought it was scarfed, though I should have expected more because specs damage, like 30. Who does 30% with Hydro Pump on a Vaporeon? Unless it's a Specs Keldeo, of course. Anyways, now I'm seeing that, Politoed's asleep. I can just bring in my Flygon and clean up the mess with a flipping Outrage. Outrage! Outrage! And it only does 37%. I'm just thinking, oh my goodness. And actually, in reality, any 2 times that if these 2 sleep top, if he got in a Scald, he probably would have KO'd my Dragonite. I'm not gonna lie. He probably would have done that. And even though he can't do anything to my Vaporeon, it probably would have ended in this giant stall fest. It would have made the match a lot more interesting if he got the Scald burn. Anyways, he predicts my switching to Vaporeon goes for an Earthquake, though really there's no point in me predicting because my Vaporeon walls him completely. And I was just planning on sacking my Flygon, but I don't even have to because I Snap Up Confusion and I live a flipping Ice Shard. So, you know how last episode, the last battle, number 5, where I said Flygon was weak? Flygon, you're kind of OP here. But the real MVP of this team, of this game, is definitely Vaporeon. Vaporeon, what a flipping beast. He didn't even take out anybody, but he indirectly took out my opponent's entire team effectively by walling it. So, Alan, if you're watching this, this is why you have walls on your team. Anyways, great game, YTChepe. Chepe? His name is capital Y, capital T, capital C, H-E-P-E. And I'm not gonna sure how I'm gonna do the layout because I'm kind of on the other side now. Flipping Showdown. Showdown really has to fix this. Why am I on the opponent's side? Opponent perspective. Anyways, it'll probably be the same. You guys can just like look left and right through the screen. Sorry, guys. Blame Showdown, not me. I'm not in control of this. But 17 minutes, what a flipping long match. Anyways, I'm not going to elaborate on this anymore. Great game, YTChepe. I'm assuming YT stands for YouTube. So I'm going to look up his channel and put, maybe if there is one, I'll put a link in the description. Anyways, help us reach our goal of 500 subscribers. Leave a like for this video. Maybe leave a comment. Share it with your friends. I don't know. But help us reach our goal of 500 subscribers. And this is Victor signing off. We'll see you next time.